Okay, part two. Let's try again. So I've opened the project and it seems to be working now, but in demo mode. Yeah, this just Kontakt has been a bit of a pain recently, so it's working though for now. So let's talk about this base layer. That kind of comes in at the end of each bar. It kind of riffs. There you go. Automated as well. There's lots of effects going on in this bit. Oh my god. There it is. So this is going into 10. So I'm kind of using this in layered with this original sub bass layer which we went over earlier. And it's actually been played an octave up. What have we got? Let's take off all this chain. So I just wanted like a live instrument in there somewhere. I was originally going to put in a piano, but this was actually going to be part of the same release as Still and another track which is coming out on the 4th of December next week, I think that is, and Rangefinder. So those were all originally designed as an EP. So I already had a piano in Still, and I didn't want to just do the same instrument again just for the sake of, it was all meant to be one solid body of music, so having a piano in here would be a bit repetitive almost. I didn't just want to put another piano in, so to have the live feel I added this Kontakt library, this bass one, and yeah, I just kind of used it as a layer, but then I ended up sort of processing it quite a bit, so it has the essence of being an electric bass, but then it kind of turns into a synth with the processing. Yeah, like I said earlier, just sort of merging ideas together. So first step was just some EQ, taking out all the bottom end, obviously because I've already got the low end of the sub occupying this layer, so I've just got that all EQ'd out here. Then a bit of overdrive, just saturating a little bit, then a camel fat, which that automates in towards the end of the bars here and there. And then this is being all put into the same bus alongside the sub. So let's go over that. So I've got trash first. So this makes sense now. So I had the convolve function on here for this layer, not for the sub bass that I was talking about earlier, because that obviously wouldn't make a huge amount of sense. I mean, it still works. You can still do that, which is what's happened anyway, but as it's all going into the same bus, basically, or the same send, sorry. And I've EQ'd out all of the stereo information that gets introduced from this convolve function. So it doesn't really matter that I've put the sub through this. So if I play the sub with that, you hear? So that's super wide, and nothing in the middle. Now you've got more of that middle information with this, all the sides taken out. Then we've got some more overdrive, which is obviously ramming the shit out of it. Then we've got some EQ, just softening up all of those harsh frequencies. There's a bit of a dip around this middle, low mids region. Then some reverb, and then compression. This is really just ramming it with the sub and just gelling it all together. And finally, some subtractive EQ after the compressor. There you go. That's pretty much how I processed it. Quite simple overall, but yeah, it works quite well. So this layer changes in this little switch up, which comes around here, I think. Does it come around here? Yeah. What's that like scratchy noise is being brought on through the trash, which I ended up quite liking. I'd probably try and take that out if I was going for a completely clean, you know, ultra mix wankery, but I don't really care. It sounds cool to me. It's just a bit interesting. It's a bit weird, but it's interesting. So yeah, this is just like a new switch up, new melodic section. Yeah, I just wanted something a bit more emotive here, so I just wrote these chords and just the switch up, and I also had that anchoring pluck synth change and actually start playing chords here. Because I think that had a lot more impact than just having a different synth play the chords here. I mean, this, you know, that's still backing up the chords by playing those long, elongated, those long, elongated notes just ringing out and then backing up this percussive element. But I think having the percussive synth, this pluck play the chords, gave it a massive amount of impact over just having the chords be played by this synth, you know, this big salty pad. And then when as it's just playing the note, that anchoring note all the way through, for it to change here, I think gives it a lot more of a emotive impact than if it was just another synth that I'd added. And then here the notes change again, and it sort of gradually gets higher in pitch towards the end of the bar. And then you got the resolution of, now we're back onto, you know, this, just the percussive. We're back here again. So yeah, this little section I think is really cool. I was really proud of this. It sounds, yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's this like interjecting 16 bars here. Because these sections, I generally work with 64 bar main sections. I rarely don't, and I'm not sure why I've always settled on these kind of structures, but generally my structures are pretty similar in all of my music, and I don't know whether that was originally because I wanted to be able to mix everything together and create coherent mixes and always have like, okay, I'll start the track here and then I know it's going to double drop or whatever. And it keeps it simple, but also it just works. And you always have this section here to kind of do what you want with. As long as you've got your main section, then you can have another main section with some kind of variations, maybe bringing in more hats and layers and stuff like that. Then you have another pre-build here, which is pretty standard, but you can kind of do what you want with it. So here I went for this, you know, bit of a weird kind of bass line thing going on. And then I've got the, that guy comes back in, the plucked guy. I think that gets introduced here. I don't think that comes on any earlier part of the track. So I think this is the introduction of this. I think it's just an FL synth. Let's have a C plucked. Yep. Just a super simple, like, square saw thing. I used to use this quite a lot, this synth, in super old tunes. Back when I used to make trance music, believe it or not, I used this synth quite a lot. And, excuse me, I'm burping. That's disgusting. Anyway, yeah. I still use it now. It's just an easy, simple plug-in. I think it sounds quite nice, especially when you drag the colour over to more like a warmer sort of square kind of pulse kind of sound. So yeah, I think I've just got an EQ filter here that I can match. Yeah, I think that comes in the middle section, because this becomes kind of the new anchor. It takes over from the main pluck noise and becomes the new anchor over here, and that continues into the next drop, where I've also added like a camel space, which is basically adding like a trance gate, speaking of trance, to create a bit more movement. And then that noise just evolves a bit more rather than just being a constant like do 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 do. It then progresses more because you've got all these effects coming in, and the sound gradually changes. So if I just play that on its own, here I've got a music box. This is a free plugin, I think, actually, that you can find somewhere. And this is playing like a harmony. Or it is playing a harmony, not like a harmony, it is playing a harmony. Which I think, yeah, it creates this... I was saying earlier, the track's actually in a minor key, but a lot of the elements of the track are playing these nice, beautiful major harmonies, which shine through. And I think the whole point of this track was that, you know, I was very sad when I made the track, generally. So there's kind of these elements of uplifting melodic content, which is sort of like this is what things could be, but then it's the main focus of the track is that this is how things are at the moment, you know. Bit deep, but there you go. But I think that kind of works. There's a bit of disparity between these major, major harmonies with the pluck synths being played alongside minor chords. So then I had a bit more EQ. It's just a low cut, just tidying up any noise. Then I've got disperser, which is just adding that texture onto the music box. It's very quiet, I'm sorry, but I don't want to bring this up because it's going to mess with the levels a little bit. You can hear it kind of adds this, the pitch envelope layer thing that I was talking about earlier with the kick drum. You can use that for... It's just really, really good for these short plucking instruments too. Yeah, it works quite well. Then I've got Uber Mod, this is just spreading it a little bit. And then Camel Space, which comes in later on. And then Vintage Verb, which gets automated in as well, I think, towards the end of the bars. Yeah, there you go. And then just a bit of subtractive EQ, nothing crazy, just taming those problem areas quite a lot. They're not problem areas, they're just like muddy frequencies that can be a bit too abrasive. So yeah, and that layered with the pluck. There you go. So that's all that automation coming in, and then this plucked sort of Oh, there's a new snare that comes in there. Oh god, that snare's well loud. It's not got its own mixer track, I don't think, so that's why it's so loud. Oh my god. Okay, we'll forget it. Yeah, and this kind of remains constant throughout the rest of the track. So your anchor goes from the main into this nice arpeggiated thing. Kind of arpeggiated, not really arpeggiated. Yeah, so what else can we go into here? There's just some like background noises and stuff, you know. These are all like Vengeance things that I've just sort of dragged and pitched around a little bit. Added loads of reverb and stuff on to make them a bit more interesting. There's another shaker loop that comes in here. Oh yeah, this guy. That's a repro, resample. I can't remember exactly how old this is or where this has come from. But yeah, this is something I made with just, you know, it's really long, as you can see, and I've just taken out a little bit of it, EQ'd it, just made sure it fits nicely in the mix, and a bit of compression, a bit more EQ. So here I've not gone for the Saturn Presence band, I just used EQ here. Yeah, I didn't really think it made a difference. And there's not really a huge amount of high end around this like 18k upwards region. It just kind of dips off here around 12k actually. But yeah, that sounds fine. Just put a bit of presence here. I've rolled it off quite severely here. So I'm not sure why I didn't just like open this here. I'm not sure if this is being used as a filter, maybe. I think that's why that's here rather than afterwards. Well, there you go. That's another little resample. Yeah. Oh, snare changes here. So now you've got... You got these like new layers come in and replace the old snare. Just for this main, just for this middle section, this pre-build sort of thing. We have another snare come in here as well, which I can't find. But it's just another snare layer adding to the body of the track so that when... Oh, it's cymatics. Who knew? Oh, shame on me for using that, but it sounds good. So I brought this in on this sort of second area just so... Yeah, it's just constantly building. It's got... Now the snare's a bit more up front. You know, you've had your pre-build as well, and if you just drop straight back into the old drums, I mean, it sounds cool, but I think adding this snare here really gives it a massive impact. That little thing is this guy, which has been pitched and then a bit of reverb on. There you go. Super simple. Again, more just resamples every now and again, just for a bit of variance. And then a change here in the synth thing. This is a vocal resample thing, which is going through some crystallizer. Create that really lovely delay. As well, I've also, with the sidechain trigger, which are these two, this is my old snide sidechain. This is the kick and this is the snare. As you can see, the kick sidechain is triggering early, like before. You know, talking about that preemptive sidechain thing. But this is quite severe in this track, as in, not severe, but it's been triggered pretty early. So, I mean, let's listen to how that sounds with just the sidechain on the, straight on the beat. Let's have a listen, shall we? So, about there. Okay. So. Drag it too far and it becomes quite like start-stoppy, you know, like this. Which kind of has its own little vibe. You can use that creatively, but I've sort of settled for around here, I think. So yeah, using your sidechain triggers creatively like that can be really cool too. I've talked about that a lot before. And then for the second drop, actually dropped into this front, you know, the section where I've added this switch up in the chords and stuff. Though I've actually taken the melody and bass from that. I made a new layer and kind of rehashed it and had the sub sort of ringing out a bit longer here rather than being more stabby. There you go. Yeah, I think it's a cool tune. I think it's always like progressing into other things, and then yeah, for the ending I just there's a vinyl crackle sample as well, which kind of running out all of these middle sections, like the intros and stuff. Just really subtle, nice texture. She's literally just been looped. I'll use that kind of thing quite a lot. I'll use it in all the Monument stuff. Just gives it this old dusty kind of feeling. And I think this tune is actually a bit of a merge of those kind of styles, the Monument stuff and the Emperor stuff, which is why it sounds quite different. I think the use of this old school synth, like the repro stuff, really, I don't know, I think it just gives it a really nice texture. Instead of just using Serum for everything. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and it can sound super cool. But yeah, it's got a cool vibe, and I'm really proud of this one, to be honest. I think this is one of my better tracks that I've made, and he's nice. He's very nice. Thank you. It's a good tune. Thanks, bye. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's the track. That's a track. This is the kind of place where it'd be helpful if someone wanted to, if someone could ask questions. So this is the benefit of doing live streams, is when people can ask you questions, you can go more in depth about things. But yeah, generally speaking, it's just balancing elements and getting the right amount of variation without it sounding too complicated and too hectic. Because for the amount of stuff in the track, I think it doesn't actually sound too busy. I don't think it sounds too all over the place. I think it still sounds quite grounded, and I think that is probably in part to this synth just playing throughout the. I mean, as you can see, it plays pretty much throughout the whole track, with the sake of variances here. But this whole line is literally just that synth playing. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you found that interesting. And I'll see you in the next one. Sorry this is in 2 parts. That's a bit of a ball ache about the contact library messing up, but what can you do, huh? What can you do? It's just what happens sometimes. So there's a sample pack going up as well with this track breakdown, so check the Patreon for that. Sorry this is so late in the month. As I said in the last video, I got like mad PC issues, but that's odd. But we got there eventually. I hope you found it interesting. Leave me a like and subscribe, and a comment. Leave me a comment in the Patreon, and let me know what you guys want me to go into. If there's anything particular as well you want me to go into in a track breakdown that I've already done, and be like, oh, that was cool. Can you go into that more? And if I can, then I can go into a video like just on that specific element. But I'm hoping these track breakdowns are pretty in depth enough for you to just be like, oh, that's how that was done, and it gives you a good insight into that. Cool. So yeah, thanks a lot for another month of support, and much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye with you.